Hi everyone, welcome to Bubs and Tots. Rana here again. We are going to be making a beautiful pumpkin soup tonight. Here in Sydney we've had some chilly nights, so to solve that issue, a nice bowl of pumpkin soup is always going to warm you up. So anyway, let's get started. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe away, like the videos. As you all know, this channel is fairly new. And the only way to get things going is with more subscribers and with more views. It will motivate me more and I can keep making videos like this. Okay guys, my ingredients are here in front of me. For my pumpkin, I've got Kent pumpkin and butternut pumpkin. You can just use Kent pumpkin. I like to use a bit of butternut as well, just to give it that different texture of the two pumpkins. I've got some carrots and celery to help with the vitamins and some shallots to garnish the pumpkin soup. Over here I'm just using some stock, vegetable stock. I've got a couple of onions, salt and pepper, and of course nutmeg. What I don't have on the table and I'm also going to be using is some cream. So you will see that in the video, and let's get started. So my ingredients are pretty much prepared already. I've got my pumpkin here. Because of time and the effort, I like to buy the ones that are already cut and trimmed off from the supermarket. Just makes my life easier. My Kent pumpkin is also cut off as well, which helps. The only thing that I'm going to do is take the skin off and then further chop it up into pieces. My carrots I will peel and chop up so they can be cooked, and my celery I'm also going to chop up. So to get things started, the first thing I'm going to do is brown my onions. Tablespoon of butter, and now I'm going to put in my chopped onions. So there is my onions. I'm going to let that cook and brown while I chop up the rest of my veggies. Behind me I've got my pot with the browned onions and vegetable stock, about a litre of it I used, and some celery, and now that's come to a boil, so I'm going to add in my pumpkin. It's the pumpkin in. And now I can peel my carrots and chop them up as well to join the pumpkin. I choose to take the skin off the carrots. You can leave them on if you like, to get more vitamins I guess, but unless I'm roasting the carrots, I do like to peel them. Some people choose to roast their veggies for the pumpkin soup. I like to boil it. I just think the stock gives it a bit more of a soupy flavour. Now I'm going to add further 500 ml of vegetable stock. Here we go. And that way I can close this off Okay, so the pot behind me is cooking away. It's on high heat, it's boiling, and the veggies are being cooked as we speak. It's going to take a good 15 minutes, maybe 20, to cook all the veggies. Basically what you want is the veggies to be nice and soft, and once they are, we can start the blending process. So while I'm waiting, I'm just going to get a little bit of a garnish ready to go for my soup. Just dicing up some shallots. You can garnish your pumpkin soup with honestly whatever you like. I like to give a bit of options. I like croutons, shallots and walnuts, but I don't think my 2-year-old was going to be having walnuts with this pumpkin soup. So that way, if I leave it on a plate, then everybody can just help themselves and garnish their own bowl. Okay, so my bread's ready as well. I don't like to chop up the entire thing in case it doesn't get eaten and it goes to waste. Okay, so the pumpkin is nice and soft, and you can see I'm just going to put a spoon through it, and that means it's been beautifully cooked. See if I can grab a carrot. Keep in mind that the Kent pumpkin cooks a lot more quicker than the butternut pumpkin, and that's the same thing with the carrots. So because of this, I'm going to give it another 5 minutes before I take it out and start the blending process. Okay, 5 minutes later, carrots are soft, all the veggies are soft, and we're ready to start blending. Okay, so my veggies are nice and soft, and what I'm going to do now, and this is what makes the whole pumpkin soup process, is I'm going to transfer by batch into the blender, and I'm going to blend all the veggies until I get a nice texture of smooth, creamy pumpkin soup. So we'll get this started. That's plugged in. Easier if I do this. Make sure the blender you're using can tolerate heat temperatures, because this is obviously very hot, and mine is glass, so I'm okay with that. Good batch of all the different carrots, pumpkin, celery and onions. Put a little bit of the stock. Okay. So this is the texture that you want. Everything's nice and blended in. My veggies in there. Now I'm draining out most of the stock and just trying to get as much veggies without the liquid. I'm only putting enough liquid in the blender to get things going. You don't want to put the entire stock into the blender and blend it in with your soup, because then your soup would be very runny and you still want it to have that nice thick texture. Now I don't get rid of the remaining stock in here. What I actually do is cook some rice for my son, and it gives the rice a whole nice flavour. So that's all. There's a few celery and onions in there, it's okay. Better for the stock, for the rice. So that's all the stock that's left. It's a fair bit in here, and I'm going to keep it and save it for my rice. That smells really yummy. So here is my bowl again, and I'm gonna pour the soup in. Okay, so all of my blended pumpkin soup is basically inside this bowl. Now what I'm going to do is transfer this back onto the stove and add some cream and nutmeg to finish it off. You can see that beautiful texture. It smells absolutely amazing and I can't wait to eat. Half a cup of nice thick cream, all in there. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Go. And then we just give this a nice stir. And there it is. Got some croutons and shallots on top. You can add any kind of garnish you like, and it goes great with bread, of course.